I've done a few add water to make the cache rise caches, so when I read the title of this cache, The Crow in the Pitcher, I assumed incorrectly that it would be about interspecies baseball. But then I correctly assumed that I would need some water to get this cache out. The Crow in the Pitcher is an Aesop's fable about problem solving. A crow spots a worm in a pitcher filled with water, but the pitcher neck is too narrow for the crow to get his head all the way in, so instead he adds stones until the water level rises and it can pluck the worm out. Has anyone used this as a tavern name? Because I would love to. Oh, damn, somebody already did. Interestingly enough, despite most of Aesop's fables having talking creatures in unique situations to help with the lesson in the narrative, this one was possibly born from observation of actual ornithological activity. It turns out that some birds will actually do this. Not only will they figure out how to use the stones to displace the water and floaty bug, they learn to use bigger stones instead of smaller ones. Birds are learning to use tools and engaging in problem solving that show a level of intelligence I personally never associated with small birds. Do you realize the implications of this? That's right, I could get birds to secretly drop stones in people's drinks when they weren't looking, and they'd never suspect the bird. I'd be sitting there 17 feet away and they'd say, "Did you put stones in my drink?" And I'd be like, "Nah man, I'm 17 feet away. Maybe the bird did it." And I'd laugh, and the customer would laugh, and the bird would laugh because the name of the bar where this is happening, the Nitrous Oxide Tavern. Yeah, I know it says nitrous oxide. That's what I get for using obsolete AI image generators. Hey, look, there's something inside the cache. Oh, somebody put some money in here? Huh. I can't tell right off the bat. It looks real. Go figure. Cha-ching. I gotta tell you, I had zero problems pocketing that money. I put it into research and development for my signature geocaching cocktail drink, something to capture the flavor we all enjoy when we take the traditional lick upon discovering and opening a cache, something I like to call the soggy log. To make one, prepare your glass with a tea bag. In a shaker with ice, mix vodka, unsweetened cranberry, and ginger beer with a splash of that old-fashioned bitters, shake violently, and pour in your glass. No ice. Steeping the tea bag for at least a minute, ensuring that papery, earthy flavor. Oh, okay. That is earthy. Oh my god. No. Yeah, okay, you won't find that at the Crow and Pitcher, but they would serve it at Puke Hollow, which isn't a real tavern, but a great transition to the cache of the same name. No, really, the cache is called Puke Hollow, which references the most dangerous section of professional motorsport's most dangerous track in all of the world, maybe. The Langhorne Speedway, born 1926, died 1964, was known by many nicknames. The most treacherous track ever, the Big Left Turn, the track that ate heroes, and the place with too many nicknames. It's now a Sam's Club, CarMax parking lot, and tract of overgrown woods that isn't even fit to have a proper satanic ritual in. Thankfully, the CO provides us with an image showing us how things were, and as you can see, Puke Hollow is not far from where I stand. Legend says, and I've worked with Legend before, so I trust him, but Legend says the nickname originated in the track's first year when, during a race, a driver who's already jostled from the bumpy, uneven dirt track was so overcome by the heat, humidity, dust, and toxic fumes that they threw up, leading a spectator to yell, "Hey, he's throwing up there in Puke Hollow!" I feel a certain kinship with some of the drivers because not far from here, I got sick in my car after eating an ungodly amount of questionably dated Dunkin' Donuts nearby, leading a spectator to yell, "Hey, he's throwing up blue and green!" I won't wax poetic about regurgitation too much, but it was a Technicolor yawn that would make Sir Charms himself blush. Oh what, you didn't know that the mascot for Lucky Charms was knighted? Learn your cereal heritage journal. Am I spending too much time talking about colorful vomit because Technicolor yawn would be a cool name for a tavern? Also, Blue Green is actually the name of a cache I didn't find located in Broad Commons Park, and, as is my wont, I quickly perused the reviews for the park and noticed this person saying a guy licked his cat and the groundskeepers stole and ate his olives. Ooh, my chair clicked. So I clicked on his profile, and over the last year, he has left 46 obviously false reviews. And I thought, wow, that's kind of a weird hobby, right? But then I remember that I filmed myself playing with puppets, frequently pretended to be my friend Owen while emailing people from the rants and raves section of Craigslist for 2 years, and collected other people's interpretations to inkblots I made because of my obsession with pareidolia. So maybe me saying that a year's worth of fake reviews on Google is a weird hobby is a tad hypocritical, without even getting into the fact that geocaching is really strange. Wow, that lady is hardcore. 4 hiking poles. But, what the hell was I saying? Sorry, I got it all wrapped up talking about myself, which is why I drink here. Oh, come on, AI, you get egotistical rambler just fine, but nitrous is a problem? Have another drink. Where was I? Oh yes, Broad Commons Park. Speaking of park, it was in a parking lot that I got to use this extendable magnetic tool, which I have had for a decade, and I think maybe this is the 3rd time I've ever used it for caching. Mostly I use it at home to test if any of my pets have been secretly replaced by cyborgs. But the CO slipped up and left a little clue that only experienced cachers such as myself would notice that led me to believe I should bring the extendo magnet along on this trip. Being in this parking lot puts me in mind to share with you a little parking lot conundrum that I encountered in the past and ask you how you would respond in the matter. I was parked here in this crowded lot, and when I went to leave, the spot in front of me was clear, so I pulled forward to exit when a car had started to pull into what was just moments ago a vacant spot. My bad, so I go into reverse, but suddenly there was a car pulling into where I was just parked, since that had just become vacant from their perspective. Now what actually happened was this car backed up and I was able to pull out and there were no issues, but since then I have often thought, what would be the winning move if both the other drivers were some stubborn jabronis that started yelling that the other person should yield for me to leave and that I should make a decision to settle matters? Would you A, ask the front driver to move, B, ask the rear driver to move, or C, open fire on both vehicles because you live in a stand-your-ground state? Yeehaw! I imagine this is a popular topic of conversation. That was a terrible yeehaw. This would be a popular topic of conversation in my tavern, the Stubborn Jabroni, along with other topics such as, what's underneath quicksand, and is a hot dog a sandwich, and what's that smell under the bridge? What I wanted to do is go out and enjoy the snow. Oh, not crouched down in pain. It smells like shit down here. Oh, actually, that's me. Disregard. Wait a minute. No, you wait a minute. I'm the guy in charge here, and I say we switch to another Clipper day. Wait, I need to show that I found a cache out there, not that I was just hanging out under the bridge smelling my farts. Okay, now I move on. I happen to be back around the way at this art museum from the last entry, and since that time, the CO verified the cache I couldn't find was still there, and lo and behold, I found it this time around. It's located within this red circle. I also saw this little piece of art on the outside that I didn't notice the first time around. This little guy here. It's a sloth. Now I could rattle off some fun facts about sloths from the Encyclopedia Britannica, but I don't want to have to explain what the hell an encyclopedia is to any of you youngins watching.
Encyclopedia Britannica. Now you tell me. I've got a report due tomorrow.
On what?
On the exploration of space.
So I'll tell you that this particular sculpture of nature's speed bumps has a more local name as determined by a contest with votes. The eagle-eyed among you have already seen the names tying for second place, which shouldn't concern you as much as having the eyes of an eagle, you hybrid freak. Dante and Jebri were second place names. Dante the sloth. Jebri the sloth. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I feel like some alliteration is in order. Sylvester the sloth. Slater the sloth. Here's the big reveal. Mary the sloth. Mary. I really want to make fun of the voters, but there's this nagging sense that Mary could be some person that really likes sloths and died tragically, and the naming was some way to memorialize her. So instead, I'm going to focus on the fact that there's an animal out there named after one of the deadly sins. I don't think there are any other animals that can make that claim, but with my limited zoological skills, I shall attempt to identify them. Pride, greed, wrath, envy, gluttony, and lust. What, you've never heard of a lusty penguin? Well, come on in and have a soggy log. Oh, wow, just well done, ChatGPT. You've really outdone yourself here. Wow, that's quite a busty penguin. And this whole tavern sign theme that evolved here, I gotta tell you, it's influenced my sign-off. So be safe out there, and may every cache you encounter be an interesting journey in some way, even if it's days after the fact, requiring the use of text-image AI, and the journey is only in your head. It still counts.